Welcome to this module on nutrition fundamentals and weight management. Before we dive into meal planning and macronutrients, it's important to clear up a lot of the confusion and misinformation surrounding weight loss and healthy eating. Maybe you've tried different diets, counting calories, cutting carbs, or eating clean, but despite all the effort, you're not getting the results you want. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. The reason so many people struggle with their nutrition isn't because they lack motivation or discipline, it's because they're following bad advice, myths, or extreme quick fix diets that simply aren't sustainable. In this lesson, we're going to break things down and simplify nutrition so you can finally make sense of what really works. You'll learn exactly how energy balance works, so there's no more guessing or relying on so-called magic tricks. We'll also talk about the difference between weight loss and fat loss because dropping numbers on the scale doesn't always mean real progress. You'll understand how your metabolism actually works and why the idea of a slow metabolism is often misunderstood. And finally, we'll look at why most diets fail and what you can do differently to make real, lasting changes. A lot of people fall into the yo-yo dieting cycle, losing weight quickly, gaining it back, and repeating the process over and over. That's because they focus on short-term fixes rather than long-term strategies. But nutrition doesn't have to be complicated, and in this course, you'll learn exactly what you need to do to build a solid foundation for success. Let's get started. Let's talk about why so many people struggle with their weight. The problem isn't a lack of effort, it's the misinformation and myths that make weight loss seem far more complicated than it really is. One of the biggest myths is that carbs make you fat. This simply isn't true. Carbohydrates on their own don't cause weight gain, eating too many total calories does. It doesn't matter if those calories come from carbs, fats, or protein. If you consume more calories than your body burns, you'll gain weight. Another common belief is that you need to eat 6 small meals a day to boost your metabolism. But in reality, meal timing has little to no impact in your metabolism. What truly matters is your total calorie intake and the quality of the foods you eat. Whether you eat 3 meals a day or 6, if the calories are the same, the effect on your metabolism will be the same too. Some people think they can out-exercise a bad diet, believing that as long as they train hard, they can eat whatever they want. But that's not how it works. Nutrition is responsible for about 80% of your results, and no amount of training can compensate for an unhealthy diet. If fat loss is your goal, you have to get your food choices right. Then there's the idea that certain fat-burning foods will magically help you lose weight faster. The truth is, no single food burns fat. It all comes down to calorie balance. Some foods, like those high in protein, can slightly increase the number of calories your body burns through digestion, but the effect is minimal. There are no magic foods that will make fat disappear if your overall diet isn't structured correctly. These myths lead to frustration because they force people to follow complicated, unnecessary rules that don't actually work. That's why so many people give up on their diets, feel stuck, or keep bouncing from one trend to another. This course will help you break free from that confusion. By focusing on proven, science-based strategies, you'll finally be able to manage your weight effectively, without frustration, without extreme restrictions, and without falling for another fad diet. In this course, I'll help you understand nutrition in a way that's simple, practical, and effective, so you can finally take control of your eating habits without stress or confusion. There's no need for extreme restrictions, complicated diet plans, or guessing what works. By the end of this module, you'll have a clear understanding of the fundamentals that drive weight loss, muscle gain, and overall health. You'll learn exactly how calories work and why they are the key to weight management, whether you want to lose fat, build muscle, or maintain your current weight. You'll also understand why some people struggle with metabolism, what actually determines how many calories your body burns, and how you can improve it naturally. We'll also clear up the confusion between weight loss and fat loss because they are not the same. Many people focus only on the number on the scale, but real body transformation happens when you lose fat while maintaining lean muscle. And finally, we'll uncover why so many diets fail, and most importantly, how to set up a sustainable eating plan that actually works long-term, so you don't have to start over again every few months. If you've ever felt frustrated, stuck, or confused about what to eat, don't worry, you're in the right place. We're going to break everything down step by step, making nutrition simple and effective for your goals. So let's get started and finally make sense of nutrition. Nutrition isn't just about counting calories. It's about fueling your body with the right nutrients so you can feel your best, perform at your peak, and maintain long-term health. Every bite you take provides more than just energy. It contains the building blocks that power your metabolism, support your immune system, and help your body function properly at every level. When we talk about nutrition, we need to understand the two main categories of nutrients: macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are the big three: protein, carbohydrates, and fats, which supply energy and structure to the body. Each macronutrient plays a different role. Protein is essential for muscle repair, immune function, and maintaining a strong metabolism. Carbohydrates are the body's preferred source of fuel, providing the energy needed for movement, brain function, and performance. Fats are crucial for hormone production, brain health, and absorbing essential vitamins like A, D, E, and K. Micronutrients, on the other hand, don't provide calories, but they are just as important. These include vitamins, minerals, and water, which are responsible for hundreds of processes in the body. They help with everything from energy production and cell repair to immunity and brain function. If you don't get enough micronutrients from your diet, your metabolism slows down, your energy drops, and your body can't function at its best. A lot of people think that nutrition is about avoiding certain foods or following strict rules, but the key to a successful diet isn't restriction, it's balance. Instead of labeling foods as good or bad, we need to understand how they fit into our overall energy needs. No single food will make or break your progress. It's our daily habits, consistency, and overall diet that determine results. Think of your nutrition like fueling a car. If you fill your tank with the right fuel in the right amounts, your body runs smoothly. But if you constantly deprive it or overload it with the wrong balance, things start to break down. That's why a well-balanced diet isn't just about how much you eat, but what you eat and how those nutrients work together to keep your body strong and functioning optimally. Let's get straight to the point. If you want to lose weight, you have to burn more calories than you consume. There's no magic trick, no secret formula, and no fat-burning superfood that overrides this fundamental principle of energy balance. The way your body processes calories is simple. If you eat more calories than you burn, the extra energy is stored as fat, leading to weight gain. If you burn more calories than you eat, your body starts using stored fat for energy, which results in weight loss. And if you consume and burn the same number of calories, your weight remains the same. First, we have person A, who eats 2,500 calories but only burns 2,000 calories. Since they are consuming more than they are expending, the extra 500 calories are stored as fat, leading to gradual weight gain. Next, we see person B, who eats 1,800 calories, but burns 2,300 calories. Since they are in a caloric deficit of 500 calories, their body taps into stored fat for energy, leading to fat loss over time. Finally, we have person C, who eats and burns 2,200 calories, keeping their weight stable. This principle applies to every single diet, whether it's low carb, intermittent fasting, keto, or plant-based. It doesn't matter if you eat 6 meals a day or just 2. If you consume more calories than your body needs, you will gain weight. If you eat less than your body burns, you will lose weight. One of the biggest mistakes people make is underestimating how much they actually eat. Many believe they're eating fewer calories than they are, but research shows that most people underestimate their calorie intake by 20 to 50%. This means that even if you think you're eating in a calorie deficit, you might still be consuming more than you realize. Imagine you're making a healthy smoothie with bananas, nuts, honey, and peanut butter. It seems like a nutritious choice, but as you blend the ingredients, the calorie count appears, over 600 kilocalories, much higher than expected. Now, consider another option. Instead of the smoothie, you could sit down to a balanced meal of grilled chicken, quinoa, and steamed vegetables, which looks more satisfying yet contains only 400 kilocalories. This comparison highlights how ingredient choices impact calorie intake, even when both options seem equally healthy. This is why tracking your intake, even for a short period, can be an eye-opening experience. It helps you understand your portion sizes, recognize where hidden calories come from, and make more informed choices. You don't need to track forever, but having a clear picture of what you're actually consuming is key to making lasting changes. Now that we understand how calories affect weight change, let's talk about the role of metabolism and how it actually works. Now, let's talk about how your body burns calories every single day. A lot of people think calorie burning only happens during exercise, but that's just one small part of the equation. Your body constantly uses energy, even when you're resting, sleeping, or digesting food. In fact, there are three main ways your body burns calories, and understanding them will help you make smarter decisions about your nutrition and activity levels. The first and most important factor is your basal metabolic rate, or BMR. This is the number of calories your body burns just to keep you alive. Things like breathing, circulating blood, repairing cells, brain function, digestion, and maintaining organ health. It makes up 60 to 70% of the total calories you burn each day. Even if you were to lie in bed all day and do nothing, your body would still burn these calories just to function. Your muscle mass plays a huge role in your BMR. The more muscle you have, the higher your BMR, which means you burn more calories even when you're not moving. That's why strength training is such an important part of fat loss. It helps you burn more calories throughout the day, even at rest. The second way your body burns calories is through activity thermogenesis, which includes both planned exercise and non-exercise movement. Exercise is the obvious one. When you work out, you burn additional calories. But what many people don't realize is that non-exercise movement plays a huge role in your overall energy expenditure. This includes things like walking, fidgeting, taking the stairs, cleaning, standing instead of sitting, basically any movement outside of your workouts. Picture this. On one side of the screen, a person stays active throughout the day, taking the stairs, pacing while on the phone, and standing at their desk. On the other side, another person remains seated at a desk all day and opts for the elevator instead of walking. The difference is clear. The first person effortlessly burns significantly more calories simply by incorporating small movements into their daily routine. This type of movement is called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It might not seem like much, but small actions add up. In fact, people who fidget and move more throughout the day can burn up to 300 extra calories compared to those who sit still. That's the equivalent of an extra snack or even a short workout. Finally, the third way your body burns calories is through the thermic effect of food, or TF. Believe it or not, your body actually burns calories just by digesting and processing food. Not all macronutrients are digested the same way, though. Protein has the highest TF, meaning 20 to 30% of the calories you consume from protein are burned during digestion alone. That means if you eat 100 calories of protein, your body only absorbs about 70 to 80 of those calories. Carbohydrates have a moderate thermic effect, burning about 5 to 10% of their total calories during digestion. Fats burn the least. Only 0 to 3% of their calories are used during processing. That's one of the reasons high-protein diets are effective for fat loss. They naturally increase the number of calories your body burns just by digesting food. Plus, protein keeps you full longer and helps preserve muscle mass, which, as we just learned, increases BMR. So, to recap, your body burns calories through BMR, your resting energy needs, activity, both exercise and daily movement, and the digestion of food itself. If you want to boost your metabolism, focus on building muscle, staying active throughout the day, and eating enough protein to take advantage of the thermic effect of food. Now that we understand how calories are burned, let's move on to why fat-burning foods are a myth and what actually works for fat loss. When it comes to weight loss, the most important factor isn't meal timing, cutting out carbs, or eating so-called fat-burning foods. It all comes down to your overall calorie balance, how many calories you consume versus how many you burn. If you consistently eat fewer calories than your body burns, you'll lose weight. This is called a calorie deficit, and it's the foundation of every successful fat loss plan. On the other hand, if you eat more calories than your body needs, your body stores the extra energy as fat, leading to weight gain. That's a calorie surplus. And if your calorie intake matches your energy expenditure, your weight will stay the same. Your metabolism plays a key role in this process. Remember, your basal metabolic rate, BMR, is the biggest factor, accounting for most of the calories you burn each day. Your activity level, both exercise and daily movement, adds to this total, and even digestion burns some calories. The more muscle mass you have and the more active you are, the higher your metabolism and the more energy your body naturally burns. This is why strength training, staying active, and eating enough protein are all important strategies for boosting metabolism and making weight loss easier. Simply cutting calories isn't enough. You need to make sure you're losing fat, not muscle. Now that you understand how energy balance works, let's take this one step further and discuss the difference between weight loss and fat loss, because they're not the same thing.